Hey, nobody ever said Travolta was the smartest guy, you know? But hey. All right, so I guess the boys are on the line, so let's do this. Let's welcome back to Totally Driven Radio our good friends, Mach 22. What's up, guys?
Yo.
What's up? Yo. All right, so who do we all got here?
You got Lamont.
Damien. And Jaron.
And Lamont. So all three of us on the line for now.
All right, so it's Damien, Lamont, and Jaron.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Cool. So we have two of the old heads and one newbie.
That was a good way to say it.
So welcome back, guys. And I want to say this, like, you know, if you're fans of Jimmy Fallon has the roots. Well, Totally Driven Radio, we got Mach 22, damn it. So how about that?
There you go.
I'll take it.
So it's been almost a year since we talked to you guys, and a lot of big things were happening last year, and we hung up the phone, and you guys went and rocked and kicked ass, and then all of a sudden, like, something happened, and two guys are gone. And it kind of, like, threw me by surprise, because, like, one of the guys that left was, like, wasn't he, like, the guy that formed the band initially?
Well, no, I'm the guy that actually formed the band initially, but he was one of the guys that when we were kind of like getting back together, he kind of helped give at least me at the time some rejuvenation. And then once he joined the band, it was like we kind of like formed and got a nice little vibe going on because I was having a problem with, you know, finding a guitar player at the time. And then he came in, and he was like a nice added feature to the band. And then it just kind of changed, and it was just like, what's going on? And then I guess, you know, he had his reasons for leaving. You know, whether we agree with it or not, he had his reasons for leaving. And then one of the other guys, you know, he left. I mean, he had a lot of other things going on, and you know, matter of fact, we still kind of chat with him periodically, but you know, he felt like he had to do some things for himself, which is respectable. The other guy just kind of like left, and we were just like, yo, what the hell's going on? You know, we just had to kind of keep it moving. And, you know, luckily, you know, Damien, you know, was still aboard, and he was like, man, I'm trying to do this thing. I didn't join this band for nothing. And Sebastian, same thing. And then, you know, luckily by the graces, we got Jaron to join the band. And Jaron was always a friend of the band, for a good year and a half, you know, as far as I met him, but, you know, Damien knew him for a while. And then he just kind of came in, and then we got another guitar player, and then we just kind of kept it rolling forward to try to do the best that we could with everything.
Well, when this happened, I mean, as a band, especially you, Lamont, since, I mean, basically you and, I'm sorry, I forget the other guy's name, but you guys really, I guess, formed this whole Mach 22 thing. And did it, like, hurt personally and emotionally?
Well, I wouldn't say it hurt personally in terms of personally as from person to person as a friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was like, you know, we were like, all right, we felt, at least I thought that we were boys, and that if there was any problem that he could verbalize and talk to me, but I guess maybe he didn't feel the same way. And I was just kind of like, oh, well, you know, what else can you do? When, you know, when somebody doesn't want to talk, they don't want to talk, and if they have their own viewpoints about things, they have their own viewpoints about things. You can't change people's mind. But, you know, I at least felt like out of friendship, I felt that if there was anything that he had issues with, that he could verbalize with me, and, you know, I guess he felt the opposite, and that's kind of why we're at the place that we are now, unfortunately. But fortunately in a better way, because, you know, I feel that the band is moving, and every time there's been change, because, you know, I've been doing this band for a while, and luckily I've gotten, you know, good guys like, you know, and developed good friendships with people like Damien and Sebastian, you know, and Jaron, you know, adding on to it, and Ted. So it's like whenever something changes, I always look at it as almost like it was meant to happen and something better is going to come out of it. And that's the way I look at this situation. It's definitely turned into something even better than I had even, you know, hoped and wanted it to be a part of, you know. And now it doesn't feel like it's like guessing. Now it's just like we're all on the same page. We all talk to
Right.
each other. If we have issues, we all talk about the shit. You know, it's not like we're, oh man, you know, we say one thing to each other and then once we leave, we talk about each other behind our back. You know, we
Right.
all kind of verbalize it, and that's kind of the way bands should be.
That's really cool. Now, at any point did you guys like think to yourself maybe ditching the Mach 22 and moving on to something else, or did you guys sit down and just say, look, this is it, and we're going to fill them in the missing pieces?
Well,
Never crossed my mind. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I felt that way for sure.
Yeah, you built the name, man. We win the Slash contest. I mean, you can't just really ditch it from there. You already got a bunch of hype. Got to go from there, man, and keep moving. And you know, if something bites, cool. If not, I mean, at least you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
This is true.
And that was the cool thing because like I remember Damien was like, fuck this, man. You know, we've been working too hard to get to this point to like stop now.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing,
I
and especially I guess it's kind of like the old adage, like sometimes you got to take, and I guess this falls into place for this matter, 2 steps back to go 2 steps forward.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, how did you find the new guys?
Well, Damien, break it down.
Yep. Basically, we got Jaron first. I mean, I know we played in a band, you know, previous to Mach 22 together. But our old bass player, Frank, I guess he told Jaron that he was quitting the band before we even knew. So he made the call out to Jaron first to see if he would want to replace him. And then once Jaron said, yeah, you know, you would do it, then he called us and let us know that he was quitting the band, which I thought was, you know, pretty cool of him to at least find a replacement.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, and then we found Ted, I guess, through right around the same time. Like, I think someone saw a post on Facebook and said, you know, this is right up your alley, check these guys out. And I think Sebastian kind of knew Ted.
Yeah.
From somewhere, and they pretty much both joined the same day. It was like,
wow.
Like 10 days before a gig last May, we like canceled this gig. We had like 10 days, and we got both of them, and you know they came in, stepped up. It was like probably one of the best shows.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean,
we kind of threw ourselves in the fire.
Yeah, it gives you like that.
Exactly.
That new blood shot of adrenaline too, that makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, did you guys have like a lot of people in the area like reaching out to you, like, oh yeah, I heard you guys are looking for a guitar player or a bass player?
Yeah, we had a ton of responses, but you know, thankfully with you know the age of information that we live in, you know, if somebody has their name, you can just do a little Facebook and YouTube intel work. You know, you can kind of like check them out for the response. So we were able to read out a lot of guys that way. So
wasn't there a guy that was calling in from Boston? He wanted to come join from Boston and drive down every time for practice.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked, unfortunately. And it was funny because you know he seemed to be a good guitar player, and we were like, okay, maybe you know if it's something cool. But I think a lot of people that wanted to be a part, or at least you know express their interest, you know, kind of saw like a lot of the legwork that we've done, and maybe thought it was going to be a quick, easy road to get to the next place. And we were just like, you know, that's nice to think that all the work that we've done gives, you know, the illusion that we got it made or whatever the fuck that means. But it's like we're still busting our ass to, you know, to get to the bottom, to get to the top.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, you know, a lot of people that were just thinking, oh, man, you guys won the Slash contest. Yeah, I'd love to join the band, blah, 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 blah. You know, it was like, and I remember, like, Jaron was like, he was somebody that knew us way before that. You know, he knew Damien, and then he knew us before the Slash contest even existed. And he was coming to shows, and he actually did, I think first time I met Jaron, I think you were doing that, what was that gig that you guys were doing at the Rebel?
Frenchmen. Oh, yeah, our little acoustic duo that we were doing.
Exactly. It was like a little acoustic gig. And he was like, oh, man, yeah, this is my buddy Jaron. And I was like, oh, man, cool, good to meet you. No Slash contest, no anything was going on at that time. And then, you know, he always just liked the band. Like, man, you guys are rocking, man. You guys got a good sound. And it was just a camaraderie. It wasn't any kind of ego. It was no nonsense. It was just straight like camaraderie, and it was just like, yeah, this guy seems pretty cool, man. And then it just so happens that he's the one that's in the band now. So it's like, man, it's perfect. You know, it kind of worked out in the right way.
That's really cool. So I guess this is the reason why I never got the call back. You guys looked on YouTube at my guitar playing videos and never called me?
Hey man, we were kind of busy regrouping and recalibrating.
So there's been a lot of other new things going on. I mean, you guys played a lot of big shows throughout the year. But Lamont, you're a daddy now.
Yes, I am. I'm.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. I mean, it's a great experience, man. I mean, it's humbling in a lot of ways, and it's kind of eerie because it's like I look at this, and it's different when you're a dad and you have a boy, and it's like I'm looking down and I see myself in like facial expressions and things that he does, and it's kind of freaky, man. It's freaky sometimes.
Now wait till he gets older and he wants to follow in Daddy's footsteps and he wants to rock.
Man, hell yeah, man, that'd be awesome. But you know, like my girl was like, what if he doesn't want to be a musician? What if he doesn't like cars and motorcycles? I'm like, then that's fine. But I at least want to make sure the motherfucker can change a flat tire and not be one of those guys not be one of those guys on the side of the road be like, oh my God, your dad, you know, built all these cool cars and you can't even change a fucking flat tire.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
In other words, you don't want to be in that guy on the side of the road with his cell phone pacing back and forth waiting for AAA.
and I've used AAA, but luckily it's been like if my engine fucking exploded, and there ain't shit you can do.
Oh, that's funny. Man. So, all right, we got big shows coming up. We got new CD coming out. Is that what the big announcement's going to be now? Mm-hmm. So what's going on with that? The first Tuesday in May?
Yeah, first Tuesday in May is coming out. That's May 6th. It's going to be killer. We're releasing the video for our single Go Ahead next Tuesday for MACH 20 Tuesday.
Yep.
And other than that, man, we got the PR campaign going out hopefully next week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to ride it out, man, promote.
Yeah.
Now, is the album going to be called Adele Dazeem?
I heard you talking about that.
No. It's called Sweet Talk Intervention.
What's it called?
It's called Sweet Talk Intervention.
Nice. Now, will you guys have hard copies of it as well as iTunes?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to have hard copies. Yeah, we're going to have hard copies. We're also, like, trying to negotiate distribution deals. We got some things in the works now. So at least it'll be available for people who can't come to our shows if they're, like, in Japan or different places in the world that like us, hopefully. They'll be able to grab it until we can get to them.
We should have the online store up and running next week, too.
I'm sorry, what was that?
My bad. Yeah, we should have the online store up and running on the website so you can pre-order the album, get, a bundle deal with some T-shirts, stickers, the whole bit.
Nice.
Going live, hopefully by the end of next week.
Nice.
Very cool. Now, let me ask you a business question. Because I was talking to an old friend of mine today that I played in my band with, and we were talking, because he's still playing in bands and all, and we were talking about, he was saying how it was real cheap for him to put some CDs out with one of the projects he was doing and all. And I said to him, I'm like, why aren't you putting this stuff on iTunes? Like, it's so easy to get the stuff on there. And I was saying, like, it seems more or less now, especially I guess if you're just basically staying to the Philadelphia area, which you guys are not, but pretty much isn't like more or less now it's like actual physical copies of CDs are almost like promos to give out to people, and you can get your worldwide distribution through iTunes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think the idea to have physical CDs really is to have something to sell at shows because, you don't want to tell people, hey, if you want the album, go buy it on iTunes because forget you're going to go home, shit happens, it's they got bills to pay and they have they're worried about real life problems, they don't want to worry about the CD, but Right, get them right in the moment at the show. So, that's pretty much the main reason why we're going to have the CDs for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, digital copies are definitely cool. The only problem with a lot of digital distribution, unless you have the proper digital distribution channels, you can put it up on iTunes and no one will know it's there because it's not being advertised on, like, the new single of Tuesday or New Music Tuesday or the free download part of the promotion campaigns that iTunes has, and that's something that, like, maybe a major digital distribution company can negotiate that part of the deal. If you just go up and put it on, like, a TuneCore, it's cool, it's there. Sometimes it's kind of hard to search it because you can't just type in the name of the band. You got to make sure you got the alphanumeric numbers spelled exactly the right way, the name of the single, the name of the song, whatever. It's like it's almost invisible, and then you also have to kind of like really promote it. Now, if you put it up on like iTunes by yourself, and that's cool, yeah, but you got to like still get with a PR firm. It's no easy way to do it. You still got to get somebody that kind of talk about it and be like, hear ye, come check out this music, buy it now.
Gotcha.
You still got to go out, crazy style.
It's a business. It really is. It's scary how much of a business it really is.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's give everybody a taste of the new music from Mach 22. We got the new single queued up. It's called Go Ahead, and you guys have, the video coming out on Tuesday, you said? Mach 20 Tuesday?
Yeah, we're going to reveal the video.
Yeah, Mach 20 Tuesday, baby.
All right, here it is. Here's the single. Let's crank this bad boy up. Go Ahead by Mach 22. There it is, Mach 22 with Go Ahead. And I got to say, guys, you guys, put the pedal to the metal with that one, balls to the walls. And it's kind of like you wanted everybody to know, Mach 22 is not dead. We're here, and we're going to kick your freaking ass.
I like that. That's kind of how we have to do it, man. Yeah. I mean, it's funny that you said that because that was one of the things that I know me, Damien, and Sebastian talked about while we were, dealing with the, transition and getting Jaron and Ben in the band. We were just like, a lot of people think that, we're taking a hiatus or a break or whatever. And we're like, no, we gotta come back and we gotta hit even harder. Whatever that means to anybody, even if it doesn't mean anything to anybody except us. Just for ourselves, we gotta come out even harder and not feel like we're defeated. We just gotta keep going.
Right. That's awesome. Well, you guys got a ton of shows coming up. As a matter of fact, this Saturday night in Newcastle, Delaware at JB McGinnis, and I think this is a fundraiser show or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
MS. Cool.
Very cool. Yeah, so you guys are doing that Saturday night, and actually, one of the bands playing there, they're going to be on here in a couple weeks. Saints of Rebellion from Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And then you guys heading up to Boston, March 15th. Is this your first time up in Beantown?
No, this will be our fourth or fifth time, I think.
I think it's our fourth time. We've been making a trip up every maybe 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys got to. I'm going to give these. I'm going to give the guys a heads up. A couple people we've had on from up that way. 3 Parts Dead. And
I think we're playing with them.
Is that who you're playing with?
I believe so, yeah.
Cool. And
nice.
Michael Spaulding. Check out Michael Spaulding. He's awesome.
Okay.
He's friggin' awesome. But he did, I don't know if you guys know, the old Patrick Swayze song. I think it was might have been from Dirty Dancing or something, one of them movies. She rides like the wind or something. She's like the wind. Dude,
shit.
He did a cover of that, and he fucking rocks it out. It's kind of like a Daughtry doing it, but it sounds amazing. You have to check it out. And his album, I mean, the dude's all over the place. He's like 1 minute he's like a nice ballad or sounding like Daughtry, and the next minute he's sounding like Seven Dust. But the dude's awesome. He freaking rocks. Yeah, he's really cool. So, and then you guys are playing, what's it? Back at JB McGinnis, March 26th, with Jake E. F. and Lee. Now, come on, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're all big Jake fans, Badlands pretty much. I mean, we all love bands. That's like a huge thrill for us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Serious.
I'm going to try to come out of my crypt and actually check that show out.
Dude, if you can, man. If you can, it'll be definitely worth it.
Yeah, I got a ticket for you. Yeah, man.
If I'm coming, I'm buying my tickets from you guys, of course. Let's see, what else we got here?
No problem. We'll hook you up.
April 5th at the Troc with Pure Hell.
How about that one, huh?
Right?
Yo, I don't think you guys were even born when Pure Hell were playing.
No, but I know of them very well. I mean, they're, Philly punk legends,
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
First black ever in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool if you look like I think they have like pictures of them guys with like Sid Vicious and stuff back in the 70s and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legends.
Dolls, they played with the Dolls right before they called it a day back in the 70s.
It's crazy.
Man. That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, actually my old band played a show with them probably like 5-6 years ago. They did like a reunion show. We played a show with them. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they do these shows every few years, but it's always should be a cool time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the big show, every show's a big show, but you got the big CD release party May 17th at Dobbs on South Street.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, then you're heading to Oklahoma City. You're going to play Leon's Lounge on May 21st, a little warm-up gig before the big Rocklahoma show. Now, how stoked are you about that?
Killer, man. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work? Like, I mean, it's 3 days, but like, when do you guys play more than once, or?
Still trying to figure that out. I think we're playing Sunday. We might do like Friday and Sunday. But there's like a lot of things going on, like after Rocklahoma, like after parties and stuff. So all that stuff will be worked out within the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be fun, man.
I mean, how's this going to work? Because I'm curious now myself. Like, are you guys going to drive out there? Are you just flying out there? I mean,
yeah, we're driving out, doing gigs on the way, camping out, having a good time, man. We got a van, and we got to throw all the gear in the back, and we got a long drive, but we'll stop and do some gigs along the way. We got a couple of gigs coming home, and we'll make the best out of that in a short amount of time,
Yeah,
very nice,
for sure.
Very nice. Now, it seems like, as a matter of fact, when the 3 Parts Dead was on, they were even saying, like, up in Boston, they were saying it's kind of dead. And they do better, like, going out, like, that way, like, out towards Oklahoma and places like that. They said the crowds are much better than playing in Boston.
Well, Boston is, Boston's home for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why. Home crowd appreciate you for a little bit, and then they get used to you being around, and then they're just kind of like, okay, yeah, we know what you guys are doing. We'll check in every now and then. But when you go somewhere else, you get like rejuvenated because people are just like, oh my God, you guys are great, or you guys suck. But it's still something. I'd rather hear them say I suck with a lot of vigor from out of town versus being at home saying you guys did okay. I want some energy. I want some excitement. Tell me I suck to my face. I'll deal with it. But get excited about it at least.
Yeah, it's always like a real positive response. Traveling out of town. That's why we like going to Boston, Connecticut. We've been down to Louisville and Maryland and Delaware. It's always New York, all over the place. It's always like refreshing to play in front of those places, and the crowds are very receptive.
Yeah, we just got to branch out. That's really what it is. I mean, home crowds are great to come home to, and they're great to play. But in order for you to become a band that everybody knows in the country or around the world, we got to go out there. You got to go out there. There's no safe haven, even in the world of social media. It's like we still got to go out there shake hands and kiss babies, just like a presidential campaign. You got to go out there.
Now, where out of the places you guys have been so far, not including Philly, take Philly area out of the mix. Where's been your favorite crowd that you've played to so far?
Probably New York. Rochester was killer. Manhattan was killer.
Yeah. Even down in down at Rams Head. The gig we done in Maryland. Yeah.
Oh, Soundstage. Yeah.
Yeah, Soundstage. Yeah.
Thanksgiving Eve, that was a killer show.
Yeah.
Now, being you guys are from Philly, and we know like the rock scene in this town, I'm going to say it's not that good anymore. It seems like it's not a very supportive scene as it was, back in the day. It seems like it's dwindled off some. And plus you have like a lot of the clubs that they come, they open, they're here for a few months, they close.
Right.
Now, when you go out of town, or even like you can go out to like an Allentown or Reading, and you have like clubs, and they get bigger name bands. But I mean, we got JB McGinnis now, which seems to be doing a good job. But like you said, Rams Head. I mean, that's like a place that like every band stops on their way and hits.
Yeah, that's the only place to play down there, though. That's the problem. Baltimore's try, man.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's just not a place to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that, and it's kind of like, I mean, I have my things about Philly that I'll say sometimes, but I love this town. I love Philly. I always have. Even when I was a little kid and I lived in Camden, New Jersey, I've always loved Philly. I had a thing about it. And maybe like I'll speak for me, my frustrations about, reciprocation or, people receiving us in town, it's kind of like the grass is always greener on the other side. Because when people outside of Philly come to Philly and they get the love, they're like, oh, my God, you guys are from Philly. We played Philly. They loved us there. And we're like, really? That's great. When we think it's dead, and it's not really dead. It's just that, I don't know, maybe in your home you don't appreciate shit as much.
Yeah, I really think it's pretty much the same in every major city. You're going to get the same thing, but you just gotta get out there and experience different towns and to really feel like appreciated.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the entire rock scene in general, like all over the country. It's really not that great.
Yeah, I think they're waiting. Everybody's waiting. I mean, everyone has said to us, like, oh, my God, you guys, because a lot of people that said that they like what we do is because it's reminiscent of the rock and roll that was rock and roll. Rock and roll now is not rock and roll. Rock music is like a bunch of fucking nerds that look like somebody's phys ed teacher or look like some kind of chemistry teacher with a fucking top and a guitar hiked up to his fucking neck. I'm tired of seeing that shit. It's like, put some balls back into rock and roll and stop playing the shit safe. Everybody wants to play safe rock and roll. Rock and roll is not safe. It's about rebellion. It's about a fucking statement. And that's the way it's always been. And everybody's just trying to play it safe.
Yeah, and you know what? That was one thing, like I've always said too, like that I think was the big key to the '80s was it was a whole rebellion factor. It was a lot of, the kids were rebelling against parents' authority, and it was coming across in the music. And you had, the whole PMRC upcry, and it was a real us against them, and there was all like, we were all demanding our right to rock, and it's like now today it's like it's very safe. Where back then it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
And
it's sort of like that. Rock and roll was built on that from the '50s. I mean, if you had like one of those duck ass haircuts, that was like rebellious.
Right.
Back in the '50s, like a haircut like Elvis or something. It's like it's always been that way, but I think it got lost somewhere in the '90s, and it just hasn't been.
Right.
It hasn't been the same since,
It
now
got camouflage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now it's like what Lamont was saying. It's like this hipster thing, It's like, with the beards and the little beanie hats and the, like the Goodwill clothes and shit like that. It's like that's not. I like that, I mean, but it's like it's not like the glamorous rock and roll rock stars that I grew up listening to, which
Right.
People want to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean that's cool. I mean, it's cool music for what it is. Like, I have no problem with it as music. I have a problem when it's called rock. just because they're playing a couple power chords. I'm like, yo, that's not rock.
Right.
You know, just because you're playing a guitar with a little bit of distortion crunched through like a 112 little Fender Twin, that doesn't mean that it's fucking rock and roll. You got it. Rock and roll is an attitude, man. I mean, it's always been that way, from like the Sex Pistols to Jimi Hendrix to Bob Dylan to fucking Elvis to, you know, Bill Haley. It's like it's always been about a statement. And even in its pop and softer side, it's still been a statement. You know, now everybody's just kind of, it's like what it is now is that everybody is doing what everybody else has already done when they got signed. So if you see a band on on Fallon or on like David Letterman, you see a band that looks a certain way, and that they already been signed, and they might have been in the trenches for 2-3 years. Now you got like 50,000 clone bands that are coming out looking exactly like them, thinking they're going to get a deal, and it's like they got a deal already. Stop trying to be them. They already exist. You got to be something else. You have to be yourself. But a lot of people aren't comfortable with being themselves, and that's a big problem.
Yeah. This is true. But that's the way it's always been, though. That is the way it's always been. There's always been, you know, once one band, you know, makes it, there's, you know, a million clone bands, and that's what happens. But you got to take a little bit from that and, bring it into yourself.
Your own.
You got to use it as your influence and bring yourself out. But, I mean, that's what happens.
When it's an influence, it's respected. If you got some new guy that comes out on the American Music Awards and he's wearing some crazy outfit, and you go to school the next day when you were like in elementary school and you're coming out looking like that, then that's cool. But if you're dressed that way because you think that's how you're going to get signed because record label's going to look at you differently because you dress just like an artist they already have on their roster, it's not going to happen.
Right.
They already got that
true.
artist on the roster. You know, why try and look like them? Be yourself.
This is true. Well, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us again, and good luck with all the stuff coming up. You got don't forget, everybody, this Saturday night, JB McGinnis down in Newcastle, Delaware.
Yeah.
The big Tuesday's Mach 20 Tuesday with the video release of the new single Go Ahead, and a whole ton of shows coming up. Playing with Jakey Lee at the end of the month back at JB McGinnis, the big CD release party May 17th at Dobbs, and then Oklahoma, look out. They're coming out for Rocklahoma. Mach 22.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm very excited for you guys, man.
No, thanks for having us, man.
I'm happy for you, too, man. You're kicking ass. You got all these great guests on the show.
And we have another great guest right now waiting.
Nice.
So, I mean, I'm having a ball. So,
this is great, man.
I owe it to you guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, like I said, you're my roots.
I'll take it for you.
Well, if I'm, I'll let you guys know if I'm coming.
Yeah.
Cool, right on, man.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll be in touch, and hopefully I'll be coming on the 26th.
You got it, brother. I'll see you out there, man.
All right, guys.
Thanks for your help, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, everybody, there they are, Mach 22 from Philly. Go check them out. Buy the CDs. Buy it on iTunes. Get ready for Mach 20 Tuesday and the new video. And go see them out in concert. They're coming to a town near you.